Yay, my Shutterfly came. I ordered it 8 hours later than Snapfish, and it came a day earlier because all the deliveries have been come to my house today, so Snapfish is not here. So Snapfish or Shutterfly beat Snapfish in delivery. Also, I said in my blog how I like these boxes that they come in. They're great boxes for future storage. They're also very sturdy envelopes, where Snapfish's envelopes are really flimsy, and they just don't package them in nice little boxes like this. I made a mistake. Both Snapfish and Shutterfly both cut off photos that you have done in your own photo editor, or made squares or rectangles, or like these, they're rectangles and squares and things like that. Both of them cut it off. This one was cut off. I did a little tool thing, but the difference between Shutterfly and Snapfish is Snapfish I don't see has a custom crop tool, but Shutterfly does have a custom crop tool, and here you can see if you do little thing in Flickr Toys. It used to be called Flickr Toys. I don't know what it's called now, but if you want to do a multiple number of photos and make a little tool online, and you want to fit it in 4x6, sometimes that's hard, but you could just size it to a 4x6, so it makes your print smaller. But that's a really nice thing that it does, especially like this one was totally cut off. That was Shutterfly cut it off, but then I just made it like with a white background. So I like the white or the black background. I like the options of doing that. This was one that came back and wasn't totally printed out, so I had to reprint it. I think that was Snapfish that did that. I also like Shutterfly, the way they present them. They were all in order in the manner in which I put them in the box, whereas when I one time got one from Snapfish, and they weren't in order, and they also didn't have the date stamp of the picture on the back, and that's what Shutterfly always has, the date stamp of when that picture was actually taken. But part of that might be that Snapfish is, when I do Snapfish, I transfer from my Flickr to Snapfish by just pressing a button, and I like that feature. It's very quick, but you lose all the properties. So that might be the case if Shutterfly had a button from Flickr. I don't like that about Shutterfly, that there's no button from Flickr, but really when push comes to shove, I'd rather have the properties on the picture and the date it was taken, and even like sometimes there's a little explanation of, like, I give it a title, and it's nice to have a title when I go to put them in photo books. So that is kind of the rundown of Shutterfly versus Snapfish for right now. But I do want to say one thing, that I had said erroneously that Snapfish gave me my 365 pictures for 2009, and had to put them out on my bed and organize them. It was Shutterfly. It wasn't Snapfish, which I'm not sure why that is, because usually there was a date stamp on them, but they weren't in order for some reason. And I think that is my issue. I've learned for all these software programs is you put them in a file to go to Shutterfly and upload from the file, but I have to put it in the list details mode and make sure I put them all in date order. You can press that button and make them all in date order, and then they will upload and go into the shopping cart according to date order. So I think that was just my error, not Shutterfly's error.